Hi guys, what's up guys? Today we'll be doing our top 10 underrated presidents in US history. So we're going to start off with the number 10 on the list. Number 10 for the top 10 underrated US presidents tier list. Number 10, John Quincy Adams. John Quincy Adams, in my opinion, is one of the most intelligent men to be president and one of the most qualified men to be president. He was the Secretary of State under James Monroe, and he was president for only 4 years. And his presidential election was marked by scandal, including how he was elected, because he was only elected by the Congress voting for him. His accomplishments include passing bills. Accomplishments include infrastructure bills, building roads, bridges, and railroads, and that type of stuff, and canals. But he still lost the election. Number 10, John Quincy Adams. Oh, sorry about that. Number 9. Number 9 on the tier list goes to my one and only homie from a different mother, aka Chester A. Arthur. President only for about 4 years, which was a common term back then. He only became president after the death of James A. Garfield, the previous president. His accomplishments include creating the U.S. expansion of the U.S. Navy, Chinese Exclusion Act, let's see, the Civil Service Reform Bill that Hayes and Garfield had supported. He passed away from Bright disease in 1866. At the age of 56 years old. So, Chester A. Arthur, number 9. Number 8. James A. Garfield, only president for about 6 months, because on July 2nd, 1881, he was shot by crazy statesman Charles Guiteau in the back, and he tragically died 6 months later. But I will say something real quick, which is his legacy is very important because of his death, stuff like the civil service reform, which was something Garfield wanted to pass the most, was passed by Chester A. Arthur. And also, he's also an Ohioan, and I'm an Ohioan myself, so I have a massively big bias towards James A. Garfield in his favor. Oh, sorry. Number 7. Number 7 on the tier list for underrated presidents. It's gotta go to my boy, William Howard. Oh, spell William wrong. Taft. William Howard Taft. I think his biggest accomplishment was the dollar diplomacy. Dollar diplomacy was a idea, which was to give more money to southern American countries like Mexico and Cuba, and Puerto Rico and those countries to keep the military fighting, but not to go directly into the war. It was the opposite of Teddy Roosevelt's policy, which was the big stick policy, which was the idea of always fight, 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 go in there no matter what happens. So that's it. That's what I think is his biggest accomplishment. Number 6. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Number 6. It's gotta go to my boy. This is a good one. Fuck. Benjamin Harrison is probably number 6 on my list because his biggest accomplishment that I will say biggest accomplishment in my opinion has to be being the first president to be recorded. You can actually find his find his voice online, and he became the first president ever to be recorded. So, I also want to say biggest accomplishment. I also would say his biggest presidential accomplishment while he was in office was the Sherman Antitrust Act, which was one of the first ever monopoly broke up bills ever. And the bill was supported by John Sherman, who was William Tecumseh Sherman's brother. So that's what I would say number 6 for Benjamin Harrison. Oh, sorry. Fuck. Sorry. Number 5. It's gotta be my homie, John Adams. Everybody talks about, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, those guys. But when it comes to John Adams, you don't hear people talk about John Adams much because John Adams is such an unknown figure when it comes to politics. Even though without John Adams, there would be no U.S. Constitution. John Adams was the first vice president ever. He made a lot of mistakes during his presidency, including I believe one of his biggest bills he ever passed. The worst. Yeah, including the Alien Sedition Act, which basically gave the government right to deport you if they wanted to, which is just basically dictatorship. And for me, I am extremely pro First Amendment. I don't care what, you can be a fucking Nazi, and you can say kill all Jews or kill all blacks. I would say you're a fucking dumbass for saying that, but I would never have you arrested and killed or have you deported. But nowadays, it just feels like our country's down that pathway. Oh, sorry. Number 4. William McKinley. Now, I don't think yourself. Why did I pick William McKinley for number 4? I'll tell you what. Number 1, William McKinley is one of those people who I have a very positive view about. Because William McKinley lives in Canton, Ohio, which is about 30 minutes away from me. And I've gone to the William McKinley Museum nearly 15 times. So I am a die-hard McKinley fan. And I'll say real quick, as much as I want to put McKinley at number 1 on this list, and I really do, there's a lot of people out there who don't know McKinley, and I want to put McKinley number 1 on the list, but I decided not to. But I think McKinley's biggest accomplishment that I will say his biggest accomplishment had to be the the gold standard. He was the president that created the gold standard, which was the standard of the American standard of the economy until 1971, when Nixon got rid of it and replaced it with the dollar. And ever since, our economy has been in shit. Oh, sorry. Number 3. Ulysses S. Grant. Everybody talks about how much Grant drunk and how much Grant did this, and Grant was a butcher, and Grant did this, and Grant did that, and Grant did that, and Grant did this, and Grant did that, and Grant shit in his pants. But Grant did a lot of good stuff. First off, Grant was the first president to create the Department of Justice, which was mangled under the KKK. He created Yellowstone National Park. And not to mention, besides the economy, Grant was really good on foreign issues and was really good on domestic issues, I would say. Gerald Ford. If there was one man that I feel bad for the most, it would be Gerald Ford. Because this guy, imagine becoming vice president after the previous vice president, Spiro Agnew, had resigned from the presidency because of a scandal. And then only that, and then only 10 months until you becoming vice president, the president of the United States resigns. And this was devastating for Ford because Ford had no majority at all. Ford was under the control of the Democratic Party. Even though it happened, Ford worked openly and bipartisanly with Democrats and Republicans. And I just want to name you some of his biggest accomplishments right here. And here are some of his biggest accomplishments that he actually passed under his time in office. And I have them right here. Here's some of the bills that Gerald Ford openly worked with and passed, basically. Oh, sorry. Messed it up. Sorry, guys. Gotta find it real quick. Oh, there it is, guys. Got it. So, there was like one bill that I deeply. So here's some of my favorite accomplishments that Gerald Ford did as president. So here's some of them. First off, I'm gonna start out very easy, and this one's just for all of it. Education for All Handicapped Children Act, also known as EHCA. This act required all public schools, accepting federal funds, to provide equal access to education. Public schools were required to evaluate children with disability to create an education plan with parents that implement as close as possible. This bill was passed by Gerald Ford. It openly passed with barely any people opposing the bill. I was make a point real quick, which includes the Indonesia Migration Act, which is a bill that happened at the fall of Saigon, where approximately 130 refugees from South Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia were allowed to enter the United States, passed by Gerald Ford openly. Bills also included the Toxic Substance Overall Act, which was a bill that expanded the EPA, was also signed into law by Gerald Ford. And a lot of people don't give Gerald Ford credit for a lot of these bills that Ford did, because a lot of them just talk about, Ford did this and Ford did that and Ford did that. Oh, I hate Ford. I hate Ford Jr. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Ah. Oh, another bill that Ford also passed as president is something called the Safe Drinking Water Act, which, by the way, is one of the best bills of all time because this bill expanded water safety in America, especially with drinking tap water. So those are some of his biggest accomplishments of all time. And then number one. So if there was one bill that I think Calvin Coolidge was most likely the best at, in my opinion, if there's like one bill that I could say that like, oh, Calvin Coolidge was the best at this bill, and his biggest accomplishment was this and that and that and that, I would say the biggest accomplishment of Calvin Coolidge as president of the United States was one thing in particular that I could actually say that was actually pretty good, in my opinion. And here's what I believe that Calvin Coolidge's biggest accomplishment was as president. Hold up. Sorry, good governor. Sorry, guys, I gotta find it real quick. Sorry, I gotta find it real quick. Oh, sorry. The Indian Citizen Act. The Indian Citizen Act. Citizenship Act was a bill that basically said if you're born in America, you are an American citizen. Because for a very long time, Native Americans were treated as non-American people and treated as people who had no value at all. I just want to make a point real quick that Calvin Coolidge's wife, Grace Coolidge, openly tried to help Coolidge when it came to Coolidge's love with blind people and deaf people. In fact, under Coolidge's presidency, Coolidge actually proposed to help the deaf and blind people the most under his wife, because his wife basically told him to do that. But Coolidge was, as you guys know, Coolidge is very, very small government principle. So Coolidge opted for a more lenient, more volunteer program when it came for the deaf and blind people. I hope you guys enjoyed my top 10 most underrated presidents in U.S. history. Sorry the mic is really bad today, and sorry if the quality of the video is not the best. I will edit the video and make sure it looks better. But make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'll post some more videos like these, and have a wonderful day. You know what? Just have a wonderful day.